pretty sure this was based on it has the same kind of beautiful face as myself, doesn't it? I'm sure that must be me. How are you? And pronunciation?
MUIREANN.
MUIREANN, you're sure of that, are you?
I am, absolutely.
Because I would say MUIREANN, but MUIREANN sounds better, yeah.
MUIREANN's definitely it. But I do get questioned on it quite a bit.
I'm thinking, you had many years, you were with Intel, CNC, you spent a few years as a commodity trader as well, but in 2011, all that changed. There was a moment, a road to Damascus moment. I know it's somewhat linked to the wonderful fact that you got married and your mom and all that, but was it a long kind of hard night to say, okay, I'm actually going to go out on my own, I'm going to do this for myself?
Do you know what? I thought about it for about 2 years, and I did a course down in the local enterprise office, the Start Your Own Business course, in 2009, but just wasn't ready to actually set up. So in 2011, I got made redundant, and I was like, okay, this is my chance, this is my opportunity. So I decided, okay, I'll set up a business, and I set up my business MarketingCoach.ie in 2011. Yeah.
Well, there you go, 25th of July 2011. That is a big day, because not only does your redundancy come in from your previous life in a way, but also you get married to the beautiful Hugh.
Yeah.
So would the feeling of that day been obviously one of great delight, but was there a mixture of thrills and fears and all sorts of, because the great unknown is in both levels are about to step into your.
With my husband?
Yeah, we're both in a way. Like it is a new adventure in both cases. Yeah. I can remember if you felt that day itself or the morning after, it all felt quite the thrill, I would imagine.
It was just so exciting because you're looking and you're like, what is my life going to be like? And you just have no idea. And I didn't know if the business was going to be successful. And I think for anybody setting up their own business, that's the biggest fear that you have. You're like, okay, I have this idea, I'd love to do it, but actually, is this just something in my head? So I think that's a bit like marriage, isn't it? It's like I have this idea of how it will work out, but will it actually work out? So thankfully, on both counts, we're celebrating our 7-year wedding anniversary this week.
Nice.
So yeah, and obviously the business as well.
So now that idea too, you've said that over the years you've dealt with entrepreneurs. The one thing you found again and again, your 6 years of particularly working with those, is that when it came to their marketing side, the two main obstacles for a lot of them, cash flow, which is an obstacle many people have in many parts of their life, but also confidence. And I presume that's a kind of confidence in what they're actually selling, as opposed to just like I don't know what the confidence would be as a person or as a.
No, it's, you know what it is? It's that most people set up their business in the particular area that they're skilled at. So like say you're a great photographer, or you're brilliant at yoga.
Thanks.
So, but people don't tend to have the business skills necessarily.
Right.
So they're not 100% sure about how do I get this out to, how do I get customers basically?
Sure.
So that's the bit that they kind of struggle with, it, knowing what is the right place to spend my money. And like when you have your own business and this, it's your €100 that you're spending, or your €1,000, whatever it might be. So people want to know, well, where should I spend that?
Right.
And they kind of know themselves. This is what I find, right? They actually do know instinctively themselves, but they need that certainty of talking to someone else like me, or an expert in marketing, to go, actually that is the right decision, you're doing the right things. And that's where the confidence comes in, because most people have that instinct, but they just don't have necessarily the experience or the training to know that it is the right decision.
And of course the world has moved online a lot, and many people would sort of see themselves as almost managing their own careers online. If they're using Facebook or any other social media, they're constantly aware of what images they're putting out and what news they're putting out. So probably more than ever, the idea of actually not wasting your time and not wasting other people's time, because there is a sort of a white noise that comes with that, that you actually end up eating into the very thing that you're trying to do. People get tired of seeing the same bit of information from you.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to make those decisions. And for a lot of, with the online part, people are spending a lot of time, but not necessarily money. But if you have your own business, your time is your money.
Sure.
So what a lot of people I find is that they have been doing loads on Facebook or loads on Twitter or whatever it is, and they're like, I'm actually not getting business for this. Right. So it's about more kind of deciding where is the focus of your attention. And the money and time part is really important to that, because we just don't have enough time to be doing everything and going everywhere. And sometimes it can be just deciding, okay, these are the 2-3 things that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do them well, as opposed to trying to spread across everything. Yeah,
and it's a tricky time, because certainly we're bombarded with kind of shouts all the time. It is a 5 billion monkeys with 5 billion typewriters tapping away. So the idea that you use your time wisely, and you basically put the information across in a succinct way, but just, you know, it's accessible and it's there, but it's totally not kind of, you're not ringing the person's doorbell every 5 minutes, because that can be a little bit of a downer. Now, you've cleverly kind of, because you're a mom, you've sort of worked a lot now in the area of the online. So you have, now it's called Marketing
Coach Toolkit.
There you go, which is really just like a one-stop shop for those who really do need to sort of get a plan in action, rather than, you know, keep throwing stuff at the wall, which is kind of what it is really otherwise.
So what I found was that I was reaching a lot of people, and I was talking to a lot of people one-to-one, and I was like, how do I do what I do with people face-to-face? Could I do that online, and could I put it into a process that would help more people and do it in a way that was efficient for me, but also it made it efficient for the people that were going to use it in terms of the cost of it.
Right.
So the tool that I created is an online version of myself, right?
Nice.
So the first part of it is that you sit down with this online tool and it asks you all the questions that you need to create a marketing plan, right? So it does that process, you do it in the comfort of your own home, and then at the end of that it spits out this one-page marketing strategy for you. Okay, so
nice.
that is great. And then after that you get a chance to have a talk to a marketing expert, which in most cases it's me.
Yeah.
And you get that confidence part, so you get to talk through, okay, this is the input that I put in, this is the strategy that came out, and you get to sense check that with me, so I can see, like, look, I'm not 100%, that doesn't make sense what you're thinking about doing here or there.
Right.
So it's a really quick, efficient and cost effective way for people to get a marketing plan and just feel like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing, because that's ultimately what you want, isn't it? You're like,
sure.
yes, this is
it's
the
that
right
peace
thing
of
for my
mind that
business.
you're not wasting your energy, and especially when
100%.
you put out an awful lot of material and you realise it actually had the opposite effect. You put too many posters out on too many walls and people actually are tired of you.
Yeah.
It's that little trick. And never more so than now, I think, the need to sort of have some semblance of almost common sense, because it is a free-for-all. It's the Wild West. Just people are, you know, somewhat panic-driven, that they really don't know what they should be doing and how, and I think it is about a wonderful, wonderful thing that we have the media of the internet, that everything is out there. But I think people are realising that, like television, like everything else, you really have to be selective over what you give your time over to and how you use it.
Online isn't where it's made for every business. So like I often use this analogy, right, that if people say like, oh, what do you think about those leaflet drops that you get in your front door? And most people go, oh no, you know, that's gone, that's past, and you know that's not useful for businesses anymore. But you can be guaranteed that you in your own house have a couple of leaflets belonging to the local takeaways, right? And that you
certain
use
businesses
them.
are the perfect fit,
or you know, the traditional media of like, or even going and doing events, or you know, it's the wider mix than just the online.
Sure.
It's looking and going, what is the best fit for me and my business, as opposed to, okay, everybody is going online, should I be there, and that's the only place I should be, you know.
Of course, with the online, Facebook has proven, you know, it's been proven again and again that you know, the numbers just aren't there, that they naturally can claim there's a huge readership, but the actual engagement is minimal. Now, we should say the most important part of your life, beyond like obviously getting married and starting up your own wonderful business, we should say Hugh and your beautiful daughter Sarah, 2.5, and you've got your gorgeous dog Ruby. You cleverly moved to Greystones 10 years ago. Was that I don't know where that came from, whether that was just you were looking around and liked it, or whether you had any history here, like you liked the place before?
No history at all. We were looking, my husband's from Wicklow, but he's inland.
Just so you know, it's 50 years you're blowing and then you start
I know. I always like, because I'm here 10 years, but I definitely feel like I'm not part of the furniture by any sense. But yeah, a friend of my husband's in work lived out here, and when we came out, we were like, oh, this is great, and we started renting here, and oh my god, like we just fell in love with it. Like I would say, right, pretty much every day one of us says to the other, isn't it just great that we live here? Like, aren't we so lucky? And like, we live up in Redford, so at the back is Braehead for us. So like every day I go out there with my daughter. Most days I swim.
You didn't have a barbecue there recently over? No, was that?
No, that
I did hear a scream. And
I was not in Greystones at the time. I promise that was not me.
But I would imagine that changes, because I do think there are certain key things. Obviously, you know, the people you're with and all that affect your mood. But where you live is such a big part of your 100%. Mood too. Just that you're not trudging through what you basically don't want to be there. It must be so crushing. But I would think Greystone certainly has that advantage, that most of the people here are happy to be here. Yeah.
Oh my God, like one of the things that, like, when I set up the business, my daughter's only 2.5, so I'd set up the business long before she had arrived, and like for me it was about the lifestyle part. So it was about so that I could have a really, like, I don't want to be working 24/7, like that's certainly not an ambition for me. What I want to be doing is like working with people that are really great, businesses that are really fun, and then having lots of time off, you know, like going for a swim in the morning and then coming back to my desk and working. Like, I mean, it's the ideal, and like Greystones is great for that, and there's just a sense or a vibe in the town that I just love. Like, and I'm not from here, so I think maybe if you're from here, it kind of becomes that's just the way it is. But like, I know certainly for the two of us, like we can't imagine living anywhere else.
And we're all incredibly attractive people too. It's kind of freaky. I'm not sure what happens. It's the water. It must be the really water. The sea air, probably. That's what it is. Now, we will put in the links for people to explore further. I mean, contacts will be above the video here, and also links to your own websites, and we will be able to like catch up with you again and sort of see how you're doing. And I do think, as I said, that, and I know myself with the guide, you just sort of need to sort of think about what you're using your energy for, because you just don't want to waste it. There's just too many.
You can be doing other things like going for a swim.
That's exactly it.